We've made it Election Day. If you haven't made your way to your polling place, please go vote. Politics has always been a battleground. It's almost impossible to have two people on opposite ends of the political spectrum manage to keep a conversation completely civil. Most people are firm in their beliefs, and when those beliefs are challenged, it can get sticky. But this election is different. This election can very well change the trajectory of the entire country, further jeopardizing the rights of marginalized communities, those of faiths that aren't Christianity, pretty much anyone who isn't white, straight, and male. You may be wondering why I'm talking about this on a podcast that's focused on witchcraft, but witchcraft and politics cross paths more than you realize. In fact, an argument can be made that witchcraft is, at its core, a political movement. Hi, my name is Carol Chia. I'm a former Southern Baptist, and I'm finding my way back to the practices of my ancestors, following the path that's rooted in my DNA. On this podcast, I'll share the history of the folk magic of the region and share my practice as I learn and grow in knowledge. We'll talk to people from all walks of life who follow different paths of spirituality, looking for the commonalities and the way we're more alike than different. If you're searching for a way to connect to spirit, pick up your walking stick and let's get to exploring. Think about what witchcraft is. It's hard to define, isn't it? It means different things to different people, depending on where you are in your life's journey, but I dare say that the most important element of any witchcraft practice is autonomy. You're free to choose how to practice, free to work with deities, free to be an atheist, free to chant, free to dance, free to cast spells. You are free to make your own decisions, understanding that there's no right way. As long as your practice does no harm, you're free to choose your path. At its core, witchcraft frees you to be your authentic self. You set the standard. You decide your direction. So it's easy to see how the practice of witchcraft flies in the face of certain political figures. Disclaimer here. I voted for Kamala Harris. As a matter of fact, I voted straight ballot Democrat. I am a progressive who believes that each person should have the freedom to live their lives in the manner they choose. And this is because I am a witch. I have no say in how someone lives, loves, worships, or pretty much anything else. And this, at its core, is witchcraft. Freedom. Freedom to exist without someone else making choices for me. Freedom to choose what's best for me without a government telling me I'm wrong. So if you've stumbled onto this podcast and you don't believe in individual freedom, save yourself the trouble and stop listening. You won't be comfortable here. Witchcraft is growing at a rapid rate. Trinity College in Connecticut reported that in 1990 there were around 8,000 Wiccan practitioners in the U.S. In 2008, that number jumped to 342,000. The Pew Research Center has said that by 2050, Americans practicing other religions outside of the Abrahamic religions, as well as Hinduism, will triple, and this will be due to people switching to pagan religions. And this only covers those who consider their practice a religion. For many witches, they don't consider themselves religious at all. They cause change in their world through the manipulation of energy. No deities needed. I fall somewhere in the middle. I work with deities, but I believe those deities are the overarching power of the universe, and deities appear in the forms that I need them to be at the time. Basically, I believe that all deities are man-made, developed from our need to explain the unexplainable. And this doesn't mean that I don't think deities have power, but they only have the power of the humans who brought them into existence. The human mind is a powerful thing, and when human minds come together as a collective, powerful things can happen. This adds another layer to the beauty of witchcraft. Gather a room full of witches together, and listen to the variety of beliefs. Some work with deities, others with ancestors. Some honor the earth, some work with fae folk. The diversity is mind-blowing. Witches on varying paths all find common ground in their respect for our differences. You won't find that in any organized religion. Respect for other people's beliefs is the cornerstone of witchcraft. I have witch friends who firmly believe in the tangible existence of the deities they work with, and I'm completely fine with that. I've worked with Bridget and most recently the Morrigan, but to me, these deities are the same, born out of the collective of my ancestors from the fabric of the universe, taking on the shape of the deity I need the most at the time. Are these deities real? Absolutely. But my definition of real may be completely different from your definition, and that's okay. But how is witchcraft political? At its core, it shouldn't be, but politics has a nasty habit of trying to stick its nose into everyone's business, so witchcraft has no choice but to respond. Human rights should not be political, but lawmakers have passed laws meant to strip those rights away from people, leaving those of us with practices no choice but to use our beliefs to fight the injustice. There's a fascinating trend happening among evangelicals right now. TikTok is full of people who have left the evangelical church to embrace witchcraft. This is a political movement as much as it is a spiritual one. The evangelical church has become the driving force of all the right-leaning, freedom-stripping legislation we see, with the church attempting to force everyone to believe what they do and turn the U.S. into a Bible-believing, history-erasing, tithe-giving congregation. They have no room for anyone who steps outside of what they consider normal. They can't handle the rejection. So, just like any schoolyard bully, they harass and belittle. The problem is they have so much unchecked power that they've successfully taken the reins of the Republican Party, turning it into a modern-day witch-hunting posse. It is a 21st century version of the Puritans, who rejected anyone they deemed a heretic. In the 1600s, they burned women who didn't fit the status quo and labeled them witches. Today, they work doggedly to remove the rights of the LGBTQIA community, the BIPOC community, immigrants, and people who don't fit their very narrow view of normality. It's a modern-day witch hunt without the fire and pitchforks, using instead the power of Congress. And this is why witchcraft is on the rise. People are tired of the nonsense and have seen the power that comes from those who collectively work for change. Witchcraft provides a way to harness that power, to focus intention on freeing society from the chains of politics disguised as religion. The freedom to set up an altar, develop a practice that serves us individually, and focus on righting the wrongs of society help us realize that we're not alone, that we are not powerless. So, set your intention, light a candle, perform a ritual, then go vote. Use the power of the collective to stand for those who are beaten down. Yes, witchcraft is political, and today we show them just how powerful we are. For today's witchcraft dictionary, I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to lead us in a meditation intended to calm us as we wait for election results. Please use common sense and wait until you're in a safe space to meditate. Don't do this while you're driving the kids to school, okay? Find a comfortable spot where you won't be disturbed. I suggest a sitting position, feet on the floor. If you're at your altar, complete your cleansing ritual before you start to meditate. Let's begin by grounding ourselves. Plant your feet on the floor, close your eyes, and begin to breathe deeply. Imagine a root growing from the center of the earth. See it as it winds its way through the earth, Imagine that root breaking through the soil and wrapping around you. Feel the hug as it winds its way around you. Settle in and allow it to take away your frustration and anxiety. Continue to breathe deeply and thank the earth for tethering you to her. Now imagine you're in a beautiful meadow. The grasses have yellowed in the autumn sun, filling the air with the spicy fragrance of the season. In the distance, you see a grove of trees. You begin to walk there, feeling the breeze and the sunshine on your skin. As you enter the grove, the air grows chilly out of the sun's rays, but you hear the sound of a brook nearby. You make your way to the brook, watching the squirrels hurry along, looking for acorns to fill up their winter nests. As you approach the brook, the sound of the water begins to calm you. Sunlight breaks through the canopy of leaves painted orange and red. You settle yourself on a rock and watch as deer come to drink. They're not frightened by you, but instead feel comforted by your presence. Birds fly overhead, combining their songs with the rhythmic music of the stream. You close your eyes and take in the sounds of the water, the birds, the squirrels scampering through the fallen leaves. You begin to sense a presence that feels different. So you open your eyes and see a woman approaching you. She's dressed in flowy garments, her hair decorated with leaves. She smiles at you, and her smile contains all the warmth of the forest. You are drawn to her presence, to her energy. She sits with you, takes your hands in hers, and reassures you that everything will be well. She fills you with her warmth, her comfort. She sits with you and hums a song that feels ancient, and your worry disappears, attaching itself to her song, dissipating on the wind. You try to ask her questions, but she quiets you. She tells you that the answers to your questions can be found in the journey itself, and that the beauty of the journey is realizing some questions don't require an answer at all. As the sun begins to set, she tells you it's time to return home, but she will always meet you on the rock next to the brook when you need her. She sends you on your way with a candle to light the path. As you leave the forest and make your way across the meadow, you look up at the night sky. The stars are ablaze with light, and you know that the woman, the mother, the goddess, is present in those stars, blanketing you with her love and ensuring you that you are never alone. Sit in this moment for as long as you need. When you're ready, open your eyes. Sit in the stillness for a moment more, then stand, stretch, and if you feel led, leave an offering on your altar for the goddess who provides stillness in the noise, or to the earth for providing firm footing when all seems shaky. Thank you so much for joining me on Solitary Magic. I hope you feel the calm assurance of our meditation. Take that feeling and share it with those who need it. Please connect with me if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast or if you have any questions. So until next time, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your fields. Until we meet again, may the goddess hold you in the hollow of her hand.